I can't believe this. Every week. Okay. The next opponent would be Gene Tunney. It would be Dempsey's last attempt at defending the title. Gene Tunney would take the title away from Dempsey.
Because Dempsey was already beat up, man. You 7 times.
Well, no. Firpo got knocked down 7 times.
Oh, then Dempsey got knocked out the ring?
Yeah, he got knocked out. Firpo got up after the 7th time, knocked Dempsey out the ring. The sports writers had to push Dempsey back in.
Man.
Dempsey got in and held on to the end of the round, and so there we go.
I think Dempsey played for Miami, but go ahead, man.
No, Dempsey. No, he didn't have a general manager like Chris Greer making bad decisions. And we'll move on to that later. 56 years ago, on this day, September 14th in 1968, Denny McClain of the Detroit Tigers became the last pitcher to win 30 games. He completed the task against the Oakland A's. Seems like everyone beats the A's even 68 years ago. In front of 44,000 at Tiger Stadium with an estimated 30 million people watching on the NBC Game of the Week broadcast. Now, we know that he won 30 games, but who was the last pitcher before Denny McClain to win 30 games in Major League Baseball? Okay. Dizzy Dean. Dizzy Dean did it. I think it was 1937. 20 years ago, on September 14th, in 2003, Jamal Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens set the NFL single-game rushing record for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 30 carries in the Ravens' 33-13 victory over the Cleveland Browns. My questions are, where was Jamal Lewis born, and what team did he end his career with? I thought this would be a good question since Marlon is living in the city where he was born, and the city he ended his career in is the city that he scored the 295 yards on the Cleveland Browns. So he was born in Atlanta, and he would end with Cleveland Browns. And 17 years ago, on September 14th, in the year 2007, Sebastian Vettel, that's right, Sebastian Vettel, became the youngest driver in history to win a Formula One Grand Prix at age 21 years and 74 days. He led for the majority of the Grand Prix and crossed the finish line 12 and a half seconds ahead of McLaren's Heikki Kovalainen. Now, how old was Lewis Hamilton when he won his first Grand Prix? But we're going to leave that up to, I know one of our callers is going to call in, Wayne, and he will tell us how old he is. And I can't rely on my compadres here. Oh, help me out, Wayne. Help me out, Wayne, because I can't get any assistance from I don't know what to say, man. I mean, help me out. How old was he?
So that would be Lewis Hamilton. He was 22 and June 10th, 2007, the Canadian Grand Prix. And he won it from pole.
He took it from the pole. Now, was he 22 or 23?
22. At 23, that's when he won his first major championship.
Oh, yeah.
But he's been dominating what they call cotton since at the age of 8. And when he met Ron Dennis, who was their principal at McLaren's, at about 8 years old. He told him that he was going to drive for F1s, and McLaren autographed his book and left a note in there, "Call me in 9 years." and that's where he got his start from McLaren's, and then he went to Mercedes. Now he's coming over to Ferrari in the 2025 season.
You know what, man? Those are nice cars to drive. I drive those for free. I would think if they would just give it to me. So I would. You wouldn't have to pay me to drive those.
The line starts behind me for that one.
Yeah, we'll get there. You got anything you want to say about the Patriots? Because the Patriots are going to be our next topic here, and maybe
Well, I might have to raise my limit and say I think the division might be in play if by history, we go by history, they always turn the defense up by Thanksgiving. So I might, the division might be in play, but I also want to say, well, how about those 2-0 Boston College Eagles?
Oh my gosh. Really? The 2-0?
Yes. They're 2-0 and they're going to Missouri.
No. They ain't
Yeah,
winning in
actually.
Missouri. I'm telling you that.
They're coming out of there 3-0, baby.
Okay, we'll see. Listen, if you bet the house on it, and Marissa has a problem with it, you guys can stay with me for a while.
One other question.
Okay.
So should Bill Belichick come back to coach? Which Bill are we going to get? The new Bill or the old Bill? The new Bill who is having met a microphone he does not like, or the old Bill who will be like, oh, we're on to Cincinnati. On to Cincinnati.
You got to be grumpy because that's his style.
That's his style. I think we'll see if he comes back and coach at all. I think we'll see what happens.
Who do you think he's coming back to coach?
The Giants might be in play.
Yeah.
I definitely think the Giants.
That would be perfect.
I don't see him going with Dallas, and you'd be leaving one old man situation for another old man situation. I don't see that happening.
But you think players will respond to his old school ways?
Well, that depends on how Gerard Mayo does this year, because he's definitely showing you there's a different way. So if Gerard and the Patriots should win their division, I think Bill is going to be in a lot of trouble trying to maintain that old way of doing business.
Well, I mean, Gerard and Bill has a similar style of dealing with the defense.
I think so.
Building the defense first. And Mayo went right into the defense and that run game. He stuck with it throughout that game, and that's what really won the game.
Well, the difference is Gerard tells you things where Bill doesn't tell you things.
Okay.
So, he plays things close to his best. Gerard is opening up, and he's maybe at the beginning, they thought he was talking too much. Now he's not talking enough, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I'm picking the Patriots to take the division. I am.
I saw I like my Eagles, my Boston College Eagles to go 3-0 this week.
You call back next week and see about that. Okay.
Number 23 in the nation.
Number 23 in the nation. We're going. Go Boston College. All right, we're gonna get off with that, and we're gonna get right in on the Patriots. The Patriots.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, thank you, Wayne.
You too, Wayne.
Hey, our toll-free number is 844-249-5247, 844-249-5247. We are talking Patriots.
New England Patriots. Gerard Mayo. Are they going 17-0 this season?
No, they're not going to go 17-0, but they're going to win some games.
They are.
I started from the top saying they will win 5 games. Now I'm
You're
probably
right.
about 7.
Okay. No.
7.
I'm picking them to take the division. I mean, Miami's out of it. They're done. They're not going anywhere. That's a train wreck that's already hit one train on the track. It's ready to hit another one and just completely stop. Buffalo, I don't trust. Aaron Rodgers is going to get hurt again this year before the season's out, so the Jets are going to die right there, right where they're at. And that leaves the Patriots to rise up and take it.
Well, Aaron's going to run out of his own knees because he's running for his life back there. He's too old to be running that much, man. So if they can't tighten that lineup, he's going to quit.
Like I said,
what? I ain't doing that.
He ain't going to last. He's not going to last the season. That only leaves the Patriots and the Bills. And Josh Allen, with a little bit of pressure, is always ready to give up. He's just going to run and throw the ball up in the air. And I know for a fact, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now, stop betting on the Patriots. I mean, if they win tomorrow. If they don't win tomorrow, all bets are off. But if they win tomorrow, I'm telling you, okay, we are in for a ride. I can feel it happening. It is in the air. And we'll see what the production on the field tomorrow. But if they win tomorrow, the NFL or the AFC is in trouble.
I've never saw my partner with so many ifs in his conversation. Because prior to the start of the season, the Patriots were the worst team in the world, and they wasn't going anywhere. They were going to do nothing.
But just as of last week.
That was last week. Right. And all of a sudden, he got up on the Patriots, but everything has an if in it. So it's like he really don't trust them. He's not depending on them.
Long season, Clay. It's a long season.
Well, it's just one game. But guys, I've seen winners before, and I know a winner when I see one. And if they win tomorrow, you guys are going to be surprised. These guys these guys have a lot of something. And Keon White, the defensive end, he's a second-year guy. And this guy is wrecking havoc. And I saw some clips of him last week. And I mean, last week from the year before, 2023, and he was really raw, but he still was wrecking havoc then. But now he completely dominated Trent Brown. Trent Brown looked like a turnstile just going around the circle. He was taking them and throwing them. He was getting them inside moves. Everything he wanted to do to Trent Brown, he did.
He watched Judon, so he had time to develop.
Understudy. Yeah. And another guy that played really well and who didn't play at all, well, played very few games last year due to injury was Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback.
I heard he played very well.
Defended Jamar Chase exceptionally well. I mean, these are the guys that go under the radar. I mean, this is a Patriots defense that historically has had guys that we don't really hear about that play very well. So I think the defense could be the saving grace.
Josh Uche.
And Uche, too. They made a big stink of it last week. It's Joshua Uche. That's how they pronounce the name now.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh.
It's not Josh.
Joshua.
But so it's surprising. I think they could. I mean, Seattle is mediocre at best. I don't think they're a good team. They're not a bad team.
They were a playoff team.
They're
last year.
They're a playoff bubble team.
Geno Smith is a good quarterback. It's really turned out to be a good quarterback.
Surprisingly so.
Yeah. So listen, these guys. I wouldn't sleep on Seattle. I think Seattle has a chance to make a lot of hay over there in the West and in the NFC. So I think they're a good team. They're a well-coached team. They went 9-8 last year, and that's with Geno getting hurt. I think he was out for 2 games. So they could have went further. So that being said, if the Patriots do a slap down on Seattle, all bets are off, as far as I'm concerned. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about calling whatever sports betting, whatever. And I told Eric I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't get around to it. But I can still get it in. Put $100 on the Patriots and ride them all the way to the.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's not gambling. I don't know what's going on with my partner today, but he's not gambling.
And guys, one great thing the Patriots are doing tomorrow in honor of what is soon to be, if you can believe it, 10 years. This February rather, when the Patriots defeated Seattle and the Super Bowl. Any guesses on who's going to be the? They call it the keeper of the light, I think it's called, the new lighthouse they established at Gillette Stadium. Any idea who's going to perform that duty on Sunday?
You mean somebody's going to actually man it and stay there?
Just honorary to begin the game.
Can they get Tommy in there?
Just think about that Super Bowl.
That would be the fantastic. Oh, please, let it be Butler.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Who it is?
Yes, it will be.
Okay.
He'll be there tomorrow.
Nice.
That would be fantastic. That guy there, love him. He's been through a lot. Got Marlon Wright, Magic Marlon Wright on the line here. Can you hear us, Marlon?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I had some technical issues and still on vacation, so still trying to connect to some things and put some things together. So my apologies for being late.
He's apologizing, fans. Should we accept it? Or I mean, you are the fans. You come first, I would think.
No excuses. This is just a lack of preparation. I got to hit the road and drive back 7.5 hours in a few minutes.
You want to?
Right.
I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
We'll hash all of my shortcomings out later.
Okay. The Patriots. I'm picking the Patriots to go 17-0 for the season. Now.
You hear that, Marlon?
What have I missed? What really happened while I was trying to connect?
He fell and hit his head this morning. Something.
I'm telling you, these guys are good. These guys are good. You guys are sleeping on them.
We're sleeping.
You're sleeping on these guys are good. They're really good.
Oh man, we need to show some clips from last week and the week before that, and the week before that.
Is that how we opened up? We opened up with you thinking they're going 17-0. Is that
really out there? I'll make a prediction in a second. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I will go out on a limb, and I don't know about 17-0, but I'm predicting good things from this team.
Yeah, I think they're playing the NFC West this
They're
year.
playing. Well, I know
Seattle.
they play Seattle tomorrow.
Yeah, they're playing the NFC West this year, and the NFC West is a tough division. So, uh, yeah, you got to pick them over San Francisco, like the
Oh
Rams.
no! I'm not picking them over San Francisco.
How about the Rams?
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to be a tough game. I
It'll be a
mean,
good game.
Mayo was there when they, in a sense when they played the Rams in the Super Bowl, so he knows Sean McVay's scheme. They know how to beat his scheme. So yeah, I give him a heck of a chance if the offense can produce. Yeah, I put him right in there.
I'm gonna
But
call
you,
it one
yeah,
game at a time.
you do know that Sean McVay wasn't there. He wasn't there when Pete Carroll was there, was he? Or was he under Pete Carroll?
No. Sean McVay when the Patriots played the Rams, I think it was 2018
Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, yeah,
in the
yeah,
Super Bowl.
yeah.
Because they began with beating the St. Louis Rams and they ended with beating the Los Angeles
The
Rams.
Los Angeles Rams. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
Patriots made a living on beating the Rams.
Yeah. 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 I like it.
Yeah,
I
Bill
like it.
had Sean's ticket,
He
man.
had it. He had it.
He had Sean's ticket.
Yeah.
He was a young dude over there, though. He was doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's
He's
gotten
still
better. Gotten
still
better
coaching.
by getting beat.
Well,
In fact, the
our
best possible.
problem is generating offense. They have
You think that's a
some
problem?
offensive. What's that?
You think we got a problem generating offense?
Yeah, I think we got a problem creating plays and generating some offense because you're going to have to put up at least 24 to 28 points with a defense like this on some of these teams.
Yeah, you
And
got to put up some points eventually.
yeah, you got to put up points in. So last week if they could have pushed it into the end zone, they probably could have scored over 24 points. But they kicked 3 field goals, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Whoops, I forget the end score of that game. They kicked, yeah, I think like 3 field goals in the first half, and they finally scored a touchdown in the second half.
Yeah.
Who's that?
So
Patriots?
Yeah,
yeah, they have to push the ball into the end zone, and they can't walk away with field goals all the time. That
I
worked for
think. Go ahead.
that worked for like a few teams in the first week. I think one team won without scoring an offensive touchdown. Another one won with 5 field goals. So that was week 1. I don't
I
think it's
think. I
gonna.
think I think he's just got to be more connected with his receivers. They do some off the scene connecting. I think they'll develop a better relationship and they'll go to that ball where they should be because they was kind of off on a few of his throws, but not a lot. Everything was ticking as far as a great running game to open up the throws, and the defense was holding it down so nobody ran away with anything. So
You
they
know,
got
I
a
think
lot to work with.
I think it's funny. Have you guys seen Jacoby Brissett slide?
no. What is it? Something strange? You got a hitch to his slide?
It's something weird, man. But when I watch it, it's something weird. It's like he never practiced how to slide. Do that little hook slide that quarterbacks learn how to do. He kind of goes down awkward. And after seeing Tua get hit awkward, he's got to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Tua, that's another story. But we'll get to Tua. So, what are your predictions for tomorrow with the Patriots now? After you feeling a little bit better about them? Did you pick the Patriots to win tomorrow?
Did we do our picks? Did I pick?
Well, we
No.
did them on Wednesday.
Oh, geez, I don't remember who I picked. I think I might have picked the Patriots to beat Seattle. But they won't be easy.
Nah, it's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah,
But they're
they won't be
developing.
easy.
They're developing, and these are the grinds they have to learn how to get through.
Like Antonio Pierce had a good season last year coaching. He's in there now. You still got Geno Smith out there, and
Antonio Pierce is in Vegas.
is that who's Seattle? I'm lost now. Who's coaching Seattle?
Where are you?
Yeah,
I
man,
mean,
I'm on vacation, man. You know me. I'm checked out. Yeah, so you're right. Not Antonio Pierce. I don't even know. You know what? It's Geno Smith as a quarterback.
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald.
Mike
The
McDonald.
Ravens defensive coordinator for a few years before that.
Oh, geez, I'm lost. All I know is DJ Metcalf, and he's not playing that great these days.
Yeah, DK. Yeah. You get Tyler Lockett is still there also, but so you think you're going to pick the Patriots over Seattle? Is what you're saying?
I have to now that I just called them the
You
Oakland Raiders. Not even the LA Raiders, the Oakland Raiders. I got to stick with the Patriots now. That tells me I don't know anything about Seattle at all. So I got to go with
It's
the
getting there.
Patriots.
Yeah, the Seattle. Yeah. Well, they got Geno Smith. Geno Smith.
Yeah. No, they
All right.
I don't. Yeah, I think they're still a solid team, but I'm going with the Patriots. I think they can pull off a couple of wins. But honestly, you know me, I'm hoping that they can't win more than 3, maybe 4, so they can get another high pick.
Okay, well that's not going to happen. They're winning more than that.
All
They're
righty.
not looking to pick much, man. They're just trying to make it work with what they got. They're not gonna dive unless things go terribly wrong.
Yeah, they should have been able to get everything straight by trading away the third pick they had this year. Why they?
Here
You
we
know,
go. Here,
Yeah.
play go
But
you
here.
think you want
Here
them to
we go.
tank another season and get another guy? I
Here we
mean, come
go.
on, they should have did it right the first time. If they didn't do it right the first time, they ain't gonna get it done right the second time. It's like Miami. Let's just move right into Miami. Well, first we're gonna talk about U.S. tennis before we move in there, and then we'll take a break, advertisement break. But United States tennis, the U.S. Open, United States Open, ended last week with Janet Sinner of Italy defeating Taylor Fritz of the United States in the men's division. The last American male to win U.S. Open was Andy Roddick in 2003, 21 years ago. Now, it appears a lot of money has been invested into developing the female side of American tennis with Coco Gauff, Jessie Pagua, Naomi Osaka, Madison Keys, a couple of others emerging to win tournaments, but not so much when it comes to the male side. United States Tennis Association had revenues of $580 million last year, but we haven't had a male U.S. champion of our tennis open in 20, is it 23 or 21 years? What's going on here?
Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, those guys. That's what's going on. Those guys pretty much dominated the last 20 years.
Yeah, but that's because of their country's, you know, tennis federation invested money to find these guys and develop them. We haven't won the U.S. Open in 21 years. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. I don't know. I can't tell you whether or not it's investing or lack of interest in it because Serena was pretty much. I think they were just happy. Like, hey, listen, we got one of the goats in tennis, and she just happened to be female. So did they just forget about the male side? Is it because they were happy?
And they've been very negligent, very negligent. I mean, because even since the Williams sisters, they've had women champions, Sloane Stevens and then Coco Gauff. I think Madison Keys, Pagula was in the finals this year. I mean, she didn't make it, but she was there. So they've been adamant at developing the female side, but not at all the men's side because the men haven't won anything in 21 years. And I guess I have to raise the alarm because nobody else is taking notice of this. They behave as if it's not happening. But I mean, it's the U.S. Open. It's not the French Open. It's not the Australian Open. It's the U.S. Open that we can't. We're not even putting the guy in there in the last 21 years to win. Andy Roddick, and I don't even want to think about what it was before him.
I think was it Pete Sampras? Was it?
Oh gosh, that's going back to the 90s,
McEnroe.
80s.
Well, I mean, you're talking Andy Roddick in 2003. That's not much into the 2000s. So I mean, I'm sure he was just yeah. I think it was Pete Sampras, and then going beyond that with Jimmy Connors, right?
That's 70s. We've gone from the 70s to the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it's like how many have we had?
We'll just.
I don't think the males they're not the flashy ones when it comes to tennis, so they kind of highlight the ladies more. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, wait a minute. Andre Agassi was in the 90s.
Yeah,
Agassi was in the 90s.
That's with Pete Sampras.
Yeah. I don't know.
McEnroe back then too.
McEnroe was in the 70s, brother.
McEnroe's the 80s.
No,
exactly what I
actually,
said.
yeah, he
Hey, Did,
pushed
did you
back.
guys look at this outline before we? I mean, I even
Honestly, man, I didn't even see the email, so I don't even know if you sent one, let alone look at it.
We'll do better. We'll do better.
Yeah,
He did better. We'll do better.
you had to fly an airplane over the beach for me to realize you sent something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hey, it's like that, man. I'm here, man. Give me some credit. I'm here. I'm on vacation and I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's 9:28. We time for a little advertising break here, so we'll throw that up, and then we'll come back, and I think we'll start with what do we have on the list
Two
here?
attacks.
Two tags, and how irresponsible the Miami Dolphins have proved to be. So let's get on with the little break here. We have Oyama Investments. Thank gosh for them, and we're going to do the advertising for them. Hello, are you looking to buy or sell a home? One of these days, you guys are going to do this. People got to get tired of hearing me. Hello. Are you looking to sell a house or buy or sell a house? Are you looking to rent or lease an apartment or condo? Are you looking for a company to manage your real estate property so that you don't have to? Look no further than Oyama Investments. Whether in Boston or Brookline, the North Side, North Shore or South Shore, Oyama Investments has over 20 years of experience in buying, selling, renting, and leasing real estate as well as real estate management. Find them online at Oyama, that's Oyama Investments Limited, or give them a call at 617 221 8881. That's 617 221 8881.
Oyama. Oyama.
Investments.
Investments.
Now,
No, so
what do we got? Two tags.
Our toll free number 844-249-5247. 844-249-5247 if you want to chime in. Tua Tags. My guy, Tua Tags. I really like this dude. Um, unfortunately, those concussions don't go away. And after having four, you're after having one, there's a potential chance of you getting it again if you hit right. Um, but he might be done.
2 years ago, when he suffered, he actually suffered four, but they only counted three of them. They tried to say one of them was a back injury,
Hmm.
but that was a concussion also. Um, he should have been released right after that year. They should have bought him out or retired him. There's no way you can bring this guy back after he suffered 3 to 4 concussions in one season. It's just irresponsible.
It is. It's dangerous.
Well, it's dangerous to him,
Yeah.
but it's just irresponsible on the part of management that they didn't address it, and they would bring him back. I mean, waste money. They signed him to a $220 million contract over the right before the preseason. Now they're stuck with that. They're stuck with him. They can't put anybody else in there. They structured the whole offense around him, and they don't want to look like idiots, but they look like idiots anyway for doing it. For signing the guy, they look like idiots.
Well,
I think
again,
that's. Oh, go ahead, Eric.
one thing, like I said, health wise, dangerous, because you have to have a life at the end of the NFL. We're not here; they're not there forever. And looking back at some of the head injuries that a lot of guys took, and then later on, died with issues with their brain being shifted and them not taking care of themselves. So for himself and his family, that should have been a decision he made. That
But yeah,
I need to bail out on this one because they'll eat you up and spit you out. You know what I'm saying? As long as you walking, we'll keep signing you. But they're not going to think of your health and your long term life. So it's on him to make that decision at this point. Like he's got to know that you can't go no further with this man because now he's subject to um, a concussion for the rest of the season
yeah,
because
you can't
it,
put him
it
back out
takes it
there.
takes 30 days. They say it's a minimum of 30 days before you can do anything because the slightest hit will cause because your brain shifts. I had a concussion, I know. So your brain actually shifts and it's like it tightens up like you got a rubber band on it and you can't remember anything, nothing. And it takes a while to even get your faculties back. But the very next day, as I did, I went back and played another game, and I got hit with an elbow in the chin, and I went out again.
Yeah, yeah. It reduces your ability to.
Yeah, you can't take hits.
You can't take hits.
You can't take hits. So go ahead, Mom.
So I think there's a lot of moral responsibility that we're talking about.
On who?
So, I mean, as far as being irresponsible, you're talking about the financial side, which is an easy side to fix. I mean, they can just take the hit and, just take their medicine. That's an easy one to fix. Morally, does the NFL step in? Does the team make that decision for him? Does his family make it for him? Ultimately, it's his decision to
Yeah, it's his
get back out
decision.
there.
And athletes always will. I don't know if it's a moral decision. I think it would have been just a logical decision. The guy can't with each hit, your ability to take a hit gets less. It's like you see these boxers that come out and they're strong neck and strong chin. I mean, after about I don't know how many fights, guy can tap him on the shoulder and the guy falls down. And everybody knows this. How can I mean? To say you're a general manager and you don't know this, you should be fired. Chris Greer should be fired. He should have been fired on Friday for making that decision to bring him. Their excuse was he was taking taekwondo down or jujitsu, and they thought that would solve the problem of him getting concussions. I mean, you can't be this. You can't be serious.
Yeah,
There's no quick fix to that, man.
I think there's a lot of emotions running hot right now because of what we saw he went through on the field a couple of years ago when he was on the ground, clearly concussed.
Clearly.
And then they brought him back that season.
Yeah.
So that was a bad look. And then
definitely.
Yeah. And then it's, ironically, the one that actually hit him was DeMar Hamlin.
That's
the guy that died on the field.
Wait a minute, two guys who should not be on the field. If you have a responsible management. Now, people will say the moral issue. I would think the last thing that you want is what we saw. If you're a Miami Dolphins management. I mean, the guy in a rigid position where he's shaking. And you and every indication pointed that this was going to happen sooner than later, but you still signed the guy? You got to be kidding me. How? I mean, this is ridiculous. It's one of the most ridiculous decisions, along with now the guy he ran into, who had a heart attack out there. DeMar Hamlin, if he has another heart attack, I mean, Buffalo Bills, come on. Pay the guy $10 million and tell him to go away. Pay Tua $15 million, tell him to retire or go to another team. But don't pay the guy to be out there because he can't. Listen, if anything bad happens, which has already happened, it's on you.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, when you sign those large contracts, you get a pretty healthy guaranteed amount. So he's probably got close to about $100 million, or maybe
162 million guaranteed.
Yeah, so he can walk away with, a good amount of money. He's 26 years old. He's been wanting to play and prove.
I understand him, but I'm talking about the team. The team.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hampering your team. I mean, why doesn't anybody in Miami say, you know what? I'm giving up on Miami. It's been, since 1970, since they had a Super Bowl champion. And this is the reason why. There is no buffer down there that anybody's held responsible. This is just pure mismanagement on their part. And everyone's running around in circles talking about everything but. No, Chris, I mean, and maybe the coach should be fired because he signed on to it.
Well, I do have a problem with McDaniels. I do. I even have a problem with his explanation and interview afterwards. He seemed like he was concussed, if you ask me. I don't know what Miami has going on down there, but clearly they have some issues. They
big time.
They have some internal issues. They got some management issues, and so they have some PR issues, and I believe that they're gonna suffer heavily for it.
And bring back Brian Flores.
Well, that's another problem they have. They got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff on their plate right now.
Right, because Brian Flores was so against Tua Tags being drafted by them, they'd end up getting fired over it. What 8 months into the season? I don't know if he made the end of the season.
Well, there's the cream in the pie.
Right, the whole thing is right there.
They're trying to save face for making a decision that they probably shouldn't have. But then going forward, when the guy got all those concussions, he should have been away from him a long time. And for himself, he got to make a better decision. Like, dude, you got to live after this, man. I know you love playing ball and everything, but you want to live because I mean, you get up into your 40s and 50s, this is going to come back to haunt him.
Athletes never walk away. I mean, it's very
terrible.
seldom. I mean, the guy he ran into should not be out there either. I mean, and the guy didn't even tackle him. Tua ran into him.
Tua ran into him. It was a bad slide. He went head first, right into his chest.
That's not called a slide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was trying to go down. He just
I don't know what they call that.
Yeah, he was trying to go down and just didn't do it the right way. There's a technique that these quarterbacks have to master when you're learning to slide, and he clearly hasn't taken that time to learn that technique. But
no, he just ran into the dude. He didn't even try to slide. He ran into the dude like he was going to try to make his presence felt or something. And then it's just, oh gosh, Brian Flores. You know what? You deserve a second chance at this one. But I don't know if you want to go to Miami because they've proven they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So there was a whole lot more with that whole situation. So I don't know if we'll see him again, but yeah, Miami definitely jacked that one all up.
I jacked it up every which way you can.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could have played it any worse. Tell me how they could have done worse than what they've done. Every Miami fan should be just taking the Miami hat and burning it and going out and getting a Kansas City hat and saying, we're not going to come back to you, Miami, till you actually show that you care about us. That you actually show that you want to win. You put these bums out there.
So how is Skylar Thompson going to handle? He's backing up to it, right?
He's the reason why he's back. If he's backing up to it, he can't be that good. Tua ain't that good.
Oh, baby, you're the same guy that says Zappy's out there. If he's backing up, the three guys the Patriots picked, how good is Zappy?
I think Zappy's on par with Tua. And I think right now, if they wanted to really get it going, they'd go out and get Zappy right now because Skylar's not the answer. Short, quick passes with a weak arm, that's your guy Zappy. Zappy can do Tua. He can out Tua at Tua end.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little sensitive for us to be having these conversations because it's all over the sports. And this kid's 26 years old. He's
a millionaire. Listen, I'm not feeling bad for him. The guy's walking away with 150 million. You want me to feel bad for a guy? He knew he had concussions. He told everybody he's taking jiu-jitsu. He just wanted the money. No, I don't feel any nothing toward Tua. Just you should have been smart enough. He put himself at risk. He wanted it. Listen, whatever. I'd take a hit like that for 150 million.
What?
You gonna have sympathy for me?
It wasn't the hit, man.
I'd run into somebody for 50 million, 150 million.
Listen, man. At 26 years old, you were willing to partake in some activities that you probably would have, made a better decision at 66 than you did at 26. This man is, he's in a different place. He's not gonna think like us old guys.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, he gets no sympathy from me. I don't feel bad for him. It comes with the game.
I don't know whether or not you received him requesting a sympathy for any of us.
Nobody gets a sympathy card from Clay.
No. You want sympathy, you go to church. All right? And famous Peter Parker line in Spider-Man 3, you want sympathy? Go to church. Other than that, you're getting on. This is real life.
Get religion, I think.
Get religion.
Yeah.
You're a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
I got Marlon smiling, man. I'm doing good today, man. I got him cracking today. He can't stop himself.
Yeah. I'm still reeling from that Oakland the mess up I made for Seattle. But anyway.
Yeah. So, Pierce. Pierce, he's a coach, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's a little tough for us to, it's nice for us to talk about it. It's definitely rich for opportunities for us to sit here and have a conversation about Miami, but they're a mess down there.
They're a mess.
Yeah.
Fire Chris Greer. I mean, we didn't even speak about Tyreek Hill. They went out and backed Tyreek Hill without even waiting to see what had happened. I mean, Tyreek Hill, Tua tagged. I don't know what else they could screw up more. I mean, it's anything they can do right. I mean, I'm glad they're not us. I'm glad we have the Patriots. Let's just put it that way. I'm glad the Patriots with Gerard Mayo, they're in safe hands with the Crafts and Gerard Mayo. Let's put it that's how I feel right now.
Well, it comes back to discipline. You know, the
It
team
does.
has to be disciplined, to stay out of the news, do what you're supposed to do. Seasons on, you want to make your money, do the right thing. Be on time. If you're on time, you ain't never late. No, if you're early, you're never late. How about that? So if you're early, you're never late. So that avoids speeding tickets, drawing attention to yourself. And that's not making anything right or wrong, but it's just saying how to avoid situations. You keep yourself out of the limelight.
I
So
don't.
when you're
I
dealing
don't know
with,
if they can. I'm sorry.
huh?
Yeah, I don't know if Miami can really avoid that. I just don't know if they can. That organization is just. Remember about 10 years ago, the coach that was on cocaine.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Active coach was on cocaine, and
Uh, I mean, but not the head coach, right? Head coach, not just one of the
no,
coaches.
not one of the coaches. Yeah,
Okay.
not the head coach. So I mean, they've had some problems. I mean, I don't know if it's maybe it's just the allure of being in Miami that could be distracting. Who knows?
Don't knock on my window, bro. That's all I gotta say. Don't knock on my window like that, bro. Uh, you know, um, that being said, Tua, we wish you the best. We really do. But Miami, the organization, Chris Greer, Mike, is it Mike McDaniels? Is that his name?
McDaniels,
No
yes.
S. It's
Mike
Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniel.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer. I don't know what those guys can do worse than what they've done over the past 3 or 4 years with that team. It's just horrendous. They should all turn in their Miami caps and become Kansas City or New England Patriots fans because there's enough Patriot fans down in Florida. You guys could actually change and be with a real team.
Jacksonville, right?
Yeah,
Another
you can go with
Florida team.
Jacksonville.
Tampa Bay.
Listen,
Buccaneers.
if
Yeah.
there's any Miami fan that disagrees with me, call 844-249-5247. 844-249-5247. Come on, see what you got.
Hey, that was actually an offensive line coach for Miami that was caught with the cocaine thing. His name was
Yeah.
Chris Forrester.
Oh yeah.
Cocaine is
Yeah.
a
That
heck
was.
of a drug,
That
as
was
It was
Vic
about
James said.
6 years ago.
So I don't
So
know. I think it's an organizational thing. Maybe like I said, I mean the Miami Marlins. They you know they've had. Well, at the time they were called Florida Marlins, so they won a couple of World Series down here since Miami's last won their Super Bowl. Then you got the Heat, the Miami Heat. They won a couple of championships since Miami Dolphins won their last Super Bowl.
Well,
So
Miami Dolphins haven't won since 1971 or 72, isn't it, right?
yeah, and look at the hockey teams down here that's done something
Yeah.
since. So can't be it just can't be just because you're in Florida. It's got to be the organization.
It's got to be the organization. It is. It's totally the organization. I don't know. I mean, guys, I'm not a Tua Tags fan, but but still, you guys are more sympathetic toward him. Would you have signed him for 167? I mean, whatever. Would you have signed him for even extended him? Based on this past condition.
based on his
Well,
past condition, absolutely not. But I would have had somebody under him that we'd be, kind of
Yeah.
putting together to take his spot. He wouldn't have got that big contract. He might have stayed, but not got that big contract because he has a potential for injury. But you'd have somebody coming up through the ranks. And right now, you got nobody behind him.
None. I mean, and what's sitting on the sidelines? What do you think about that, Marlon? I mean, just put on your GM hat. How would you handle it?
well, I think they like you said they stuck to their guns. I mean, they hitched their wagon to Mike McDaniel, and everything was centered around him. His philosophy, his offense. His. I mean, they went with this guy. They got rid of Flores. They brought this guy in, and they hitched their wagon to him, and that was a decision that was based on what he wanted to do because they were all in on Tua. So were they going to bring in someone else that was similar to Tua? And who was that available? So the GM, I mean, I can't tell you I would have gone down the road to have to make the decisions that they would have had to make further down the road. I would never have gone down that road to begin with. But once you go down that road,
Wait,
you're
what are
turning.
you saying? I mean, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that for them to have to make a decision at this point, I would never have been at this point.
Okay, but say you're at this point. I mean, previous to the season, you're at preseason. He wants a new contract.
Uh, I can't tell you that I wouldn't make the decision because they were all in with what they had.
No,
And
what would you have done? Forget about what they did. What would you have done?
wow,
We'll put you on the spot. Make a decision on what you would have done.
you're pitting me to the wall about a whole lot of
Yes.
stuff I don't know. So I think I probably would have signed him. Probably would have signed him.
Oh, well,
Probably would have signed.
you see,
But
you see
like
how
I
that
said,
turned out.
I
You
would
see how
yeah,
that
but I
turned out.
would never have gone down that road to begin with.
But you
So
did. But if you were at that road, you would have signed him. I wouldn't have. I
But I
would have.
mean, in hindsight, you think in hindsight, you got a guy, 3 concussions on paper last year. We made it to the playoffs, but we didn't go further. We could have went further, but how do I handle this going into 2024? 2024,
because you're one concussion away.
I'm going to draft me a new quarterback, somebody that we can kind of get to grow behind Tua, in case. But I'm still not going to give him that max contract because he's got that potential for injury. You know,
That's just smart.
and that would have been the smart thing to do. I mean, you can't go all out with a cat and get all kinds of other parts to try to strengthen your team because there's a potential your quarterback could be re-injured.
Like that.
So I
He's
mean,
fragile. He's a fragile guy.
that's thinking it from a
let's
logical
let's
point of view.
yeah, let's remember Brock Purdy. How did he get there?
Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt.
And who else got hurt?
Trey Lance.
So I mean, they went 3 deep. So who knows? Maybe they know something we don't know.
Okay,
No, they don't
but
know
then they
anything
don't
we
have
don't
it.
know. Obviously, they don't know anything we don't know.
All they have is Skylar on their roster.
They ain't got
for
nobody we don't
quarterbacks.
know. Okay, this guy is a bum. I mean, he can't stay healthy, and we know this. Everybody knows this. Okay, they made a terrible, terrible decision. Anybody can see this. I mean, the proof it happened on Thursday night. There's nothing magic happening behind the third door or behind the box. This is it. This guy. He's fragile. He's had a litany of injuries since he was in Alabama. He's
Hey,
always
listen,
been hurt. He's
you,
always been hurt. And so he has a problem staying healthy. It doesn't take a genius. I can't understand. It doesn't take a genius to figure out this guy's going to have a problem staying healthy going forward. He's a small guy. He's not a big guy. He's not a fast guy. He's not a strong guy. I mean, Michael Vick might be the same size as him, but he was much stronger or wiry. This guy cannot take it and has shown it.
listen.
All right, we got 3 minutes. We got to talk about our last thoughts, fellas. Go ahead, Molly. You can go first.
I'm sorry. Last what?
Last thoughts. We got 3 minutes.
Oh no! I was just going to tell Clay if there was anything that either Eric and I had to say that was in opposition of what you're saying, we would have jumped all over it, but we were quiet because I think you're pretty much expressing how a lot of people feel, and there's nothing wrong with that guy stepping away, but I hope he does.
Yeah.
I hope he does too. I mean, yeah, I hope he does. He shouldn't even have the choice right now.
Yeah. Tua, man, our prayers go out to you, man. Hopefully things will get better, but you got to understand that there's life after the NFL, man, and sometimes you just got to walk away. You got to walk away. What you got, Clay?
I think he should make the decision for Miami because they can't seem to make a good decision on their own as far as management is supposed to make decisions for personnel and for the team. Since they can't make a good decision, Tua, it's up to you because these guys have no clue. You got 100 and however much money it is, guaranteed. So, guy, think about your health, walk away, and forget about Miami. Come up to New England, get a coaching job or something.
Well, he can call Andrew Luck and just find out how that whole thing worked out because he made a decision and that was shocked everybody. And Andrew Luck made a decision at 29 years old, I believe. So he can call Andrew Luck.
The right one too. The right one.
Yeah.
He can call Edelman. Edelman got banged up quite a few times.
You call Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck made the right decision. Could have signed for another contract. He made the right decision and he got out best for his health. Now, if we're talking about for the athlete's health, it would definitely be in Tua's best favor, just like it was in Andrew Luck's best favor. I mean, right now, Joe Burrow's best favor to get out. I mean, within a year or two, based upon what's been happening with him and his injury report. It would be in his best favor to get out of the game because it's you have to, and them guys are bigger and stronger than Tua. So if you're a quarterback and you've made over $100 million, and you keep getting hurt, it would be in your best interest to leave the game.
Yeah, think
Yes.
about your families. Think about your families more than just you at stake.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy, but hopefully he makes the right decision.
Yeah.
I could make that decision. I don't know about tough, baby. I'd be out of here. I'd be like at the hospital. I'm not coming back.
At 26?
There's a life ahead of me.
I know, but at 26, are you thinking like that?
You give me $150 million
At
guaranteed?
26?
Yes. Yes. That decision became very easy July 31st when that contract was signed.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what his if he walks away now, we'll have to find out what that guarantee. I don't know if it's all the guarantee if he walks away now, but I don't know those numbers. But either way, it is what it is. Any Red Sox updates?
No, that's it. Red Sox updates. Say goodbye to everybody, Marlon, because I think the music's going to be coming on.
I just had to do it.
No music, no Red Sox updates. That's a good one, man. You are like you're so quick. I mean, I never even knew what you were doing.
All right, folks. Thank you for listening, chiming in, checking us out on the streamline, checking us out on the hotline. We'll see you next week. Lord's willing. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Everyone have a blessed one.